things are upside down. It seems like madness is in control. Kind of a two-part question here before I end, and that is, how do we apply a biblical worldview to this? And the danger if we don't, because we're now living in a situation that the Bible's been pretty clear about, but we somehow don't believe it. We think that's for another generation still down the road. How are you processing that?
It's a really good question, Perry. I think I probably get more cultural / political inspiration and advice and counsel from the book of Nehemiah than any other. When it comes to the criticism of other people, the lies that get told about you and that sort of thing. I mean, the book is amazing, and the decisions that he had to make and stayed strong. And I think, we're in a situation where the church has to get back into God's word to know truth. We know that 9% of Christians read the Bible on a daily basis. So 91% are not going to know what to do in this situation if we're not in God's word to get those answers. There is so much in the Bible about how society should work, how we ought to treat our neighbors, how to treat other countries, how to treat the sojourner when they do come into your country. There's so much there that if we would follow that biblical path, God's way is not only right, it's best. And I think the reason America was so successful, I know from reading their writings, is because the founders were immersed in the Bible. They were immersed in Christianity. It was what one historian called the atmosphere they were breathing. And so the answers that they applied to these big questions we're talking about came straight from God's word. It inspired them. Doesn't mean they weren't. It was also Montesquieu and Locke and all these other things they were reading, but the Bible was 34% of what they quoted. So it was the biggest influence on them. We don't have that right now, and we don't have enough leaders that have that kind of infusion in their brain and in their heart that then comes out in their decisions. So that's the beginning. So I guess I'd just give you Benjamin Rush, signer of the Declaration. He said, "You will not perpetuate a constitutional republic if you don't train every generation in the Bible." That they have to get the Bible and understand that in order to understand how to self-govern. And if you're not able to self-govern, or at least most people in the country aren't able to self-govern, a constitutional republic doesn't work. We got a lot of work ahead of us. That's why the education piece is so important, not just of the kids, but of us. It can be done. It can be turned around. It's not going to be overnight. And the scary part, the difficult part, is that the left is moving so fast and they're gaining so much ground so quickly. That's why we have to shake ourselves out of our slumber. We do have to shift our focus and be willing to give more of our time and energy to this. It can't be something we just kind of dabble in or just pay a little bit of attention to. Every family has to say right now, what am I willing to do? If the nation was invaded, what would you'd say? Hey, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'll spend all of my time, money, and energy to stop this. Well, we're in a culture war for the heart and mind of America. I think it's time for us to say, here am I, Lord, send me. What do I need to do?
Good stuff. Brother, good to see you. Thank you. Let me say to our viewers and listeners, check out patriotacademy.com, patriotacademy.com. There's the website, and you can check out the various speaking schedules of some of his staff and programs. And I will say that the video series of the Academy is coming to Southern Oregon starting June 7th, and we'll have Brian Platt on later to give us all the details on that. Rick, good to see you, brother. Keep up the good work. An honor to work with you and know you. Let's plan on many visits, okay?
God bless you, brother. Good to see you. I'll tell everybody that's going to take that class, you're going to find out you're not alone. The principles still work, and you can do something about it.
There we go. Thanks, pal.